Good evening, junkies. Welcome to EminiJunkie.com, your ES Trading Mentor's free trading video for Wednesday, March 16th, 2011. Today we had a total of 7 executable trade signals for a max potential of 66 ES ticks. This video is for educational purposes only, is intended to highlight our high probability trade setups and give you a feel for the quantity of trades taken each trading day using this approach. A full trading plan and daily live trading room can be accessed via our website at EminiJunkie.com. Okay, we opened up this morning with a small gap down just above our daily pivot, and we pulled back towards our moving average, got a signal to get short. That did produce targets 1 and targets 2 to the downside immediately for 16 ticks. Found a little bit of support and ultimately came back up to our moving average to give a signal to get long. That produced targets 1 and targets 2 to the upside for 12 ticks as we went up and filled our half gap. Found a little bit of resistance there, gave a signal to get short as it came back to our moving average. Ended up getting our first contract off, getting stopped out on the remainder for a T1 minus 2 as the market pushed higher, had a quick break out there, gave an extension entry, targets 1 and targets 2 to the upside for 6 ticks as we went up into our 415 gap close, filled that, and we were making it towards our 4 o'clock gap close, and then we broke down what was a nice upward trending channel. When that broke, you can see the speed of this move. It came down quickly, gave us just a little bit of a bounce, which was enough for an extension. Now, I must say, very tough to get on that extension. It paused, and then it came down and paused again. And this is where there were some comments out about relations of a catastrophic nuclear explosion, and it was comments that were taken wrongly, and it just sent the market into a panic mode. And you can see how much fear is in this market, and it was just, I mean, the market just traded off, and we didn't know what was going on. We saw this signal, we saw the break of a trend line, and then but the speed of this move just made us say, whoa, step back. So at this point we just backed off, and I would advise you as well. You know, I kind of treated the next 15 minutes following this move kind of like I do the FOMC. I just kind of back off, no more signals after this point, wait for 15 minutes or so to clear before we start looking at the other opportunities. And during this fall, we found out what was going on. The market, there was like the one pullback, and then it came down to the previous day's low, and the market also must have heard, and they ended up bouncing it hard. So we just kind of stepped aside, and then, like I said, after enough time passes, you can see all of this time from here, all these bars all the way over to here. That was just 15 minutes. So finally things settled down and started getting some normalcy. We actually got a swing signal to the short side, targets 1 and targets 2 for 11 ticks, and then we headed into the lunchtime dead zone. Now during the dead zone, we ended up ultimately trading off again, and there was we were still battling with another longer term trend line, couldn't make it through. Ultimately, coming out of the lunchtime dead zone, we were able to we had a signal fire to the downside. Now the entry would have been right around 120 here, but we have very strict entry rules on how we can take trades as it relates to our gold line and all that, and this was actually an invalid entry. Now some of you may have taken that entry and you would have hit targets 1 and targets 2, but just so you know, check your rules. This was not a valid entry here, and then the market ultimately sold off pretty hard there, never gave another opportunity to get on the short side. It wasn't until we found our low at 43.25, which coincidentally, if you look, it was that's one of our key levels that it actually bounced off of to the tick. We had a key support level at 43.25. Bounced it to the tick, came through the moving average. Again, another very fast move, another extension opportunity, and it did go for T1 and T2 for 16 ticks to the upside. And then that was basically it for the balance of the day as we headed into 3 o'clock. But I just want to, today was one of those days that, man, there was a lot going on. There was a lot of great opportunities, and we ended up with 7 trades for 66 ES ticks. But I want to tell you, when you get in those environments where there's panic in the marketplace and you're not sure what's going on, I don't even follow news just because I know that leads to a lot of times getting your head in the wrong environment. The charts tell you everything you need to know. In fact, that panic sell-off was happening prior to CNBC, MSNBC, anybody even knowing what was going on. I have folks in our trading room that do monitor news, and they were feeding back saying nobody knows anything what's going on. And then finally it came out after the fact. But by the time it came out, it was over, it bounced, and we were going sideways. Now that's not typically the case, but when something out of the ordinary happens, I just back off. I don't panic. We have our stops in place. We have very specific trade set up, so if we would have been stopped out of a trade, no big deal. But that's when I just back off. Take 15 minutes, let the volatility in the marketplace do what it's going to do, and then come back and start using our system again. Because last thing you want to do is apply a system that is very specific and is set on probability and statistics and apply it to an area where there is panic. Because when there's panic, obviously you have to throw some of those probabilities out the window. So I just hopefully everyone saw that today, backed off, and we ended up with a great day. Again, 7 trades for 66 ES ticks. I want to thank you for watching. For more details on this plan, including all the chart setups, or to join our live trading room and video newsletter, please visit EminiJunkie.com or just simply click the link at the top of the screen. Thanks, and make it a great day.